They say fear is the oldest companion of mankind. From the trembling soldier before battle to the young student before an exam, fear whispers in every heart. It tells us stories of failure, of shame, of loss, and so often we listen. We step back when we should step forward. We hide when we should shine. But what if fear is not your enemy, but your greatest teacher? Centuries ago, on the dusty plains of Kurukshetra, a warrior named Arjuna dropped his bow. He was strong, skilled, and brave. But when he saw his own relatives, teachers, and friends standing against him, his courage melted. His voice shook as he said to Krishna, "I cannot fight. Fear has broken me." And what did Krishna say? Not, "Do not be afraid," not, "Run away," but these immortal words, "You grieve for those who should not be grieved for." Rise, Arjuna. Your duty is your path. Duty. That was Krishna's answer. Not the promise of victory, not the guarantee of safety, but duty, the responsibility to stand where he must stand, no matter the cost. For Krishna knew that fear is not conquered by escape, but by action, not by hiding, but by rising. And then, centuries later, in a palace in Rome, another man rode in the silence of the night. His name was Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the world's greatest empire. Every day he faced wars at the borders, betrayals in his court, and the looming shadow of death. But instead of collapsing under fear, he whispered to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." How strange it seems, an Indian prince and a Roman emperor, living worlds apart, speaking the same truth. That fear is an illusion, and duty is the cure. But let us understand this more deeply. What is fear truly? It is not the sound of war drums, not the growl of a wild beast. It is the thought, what if I fail? What if I am not enough? What if I lose everything? Fear lives in the mind before it ever reaches the battlefield. It is the shadow of tomorrow cast over today. And yet, both Krishna and Marcus Aurelius tell us, you are more than your fear. You are more than this fragile body. You are soul. You are reason. You are duty. Krishna reminded Arjuna, the soul cannot be burned by fire, cut by swords, drowned by water, or destroyed by death. The true self is eternal. So why should you tremble at the thought of loss? And Marcus, echoing this wisdom, wrote, do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Do you see the power of their words? Fear loses its strength when you remember who you are. Not a body to be broken, not a name to be forgotten, but a spirit to be tested. The battlefield, the throne room, the office desk, the exam hall, these are all stages where fear plays its tricks, and duty is the script you must follow. But what is duty in our modern world? We are not warriors with bows and swords, nor emperors with armies. Yet our Kurukshetra is real. The young man who must provide for his family but fears failure. The student who burns the midnight oil, terrified of disappointing her parents. The woman who longs to speak her truth but trembles that the world will silence her. These are our battlefields, and like Arjuna, we often drop our bow. We whisper, I cannot fight. But Krishna's answer remains, do your duty. And Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. You may not control the outcome, you may not silence fear completely, but you can control this. Your choice to rise, to act with courage, to do what is right. Imagine this, a soldier on the front lines, his heart pounding. He does not know if he will return home, but he takes a breath, lifts his weapon, and steps forward. That is not the absence of fear. That is the mastery of fear. The same is true for you. When you give the presentation, though your voice shakes. When you take the exam, though your mind races. When you speak the truth, though your knees tremble. In that moment, you have already won. Because fear has not stopped you. And this is why Krishna says, you have the right to perform your duty, but never to the fruits of action. Do not be a prisoner of results. Do not live chained to victory or defeat. For courage is not measured by the applause you receive, but by the silence you break with your action. And Marcus Aurelius writes, it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. So many of us never truly live because we let fear dictate every choice. We wait, we hesitate, we postpone, and in doing so, we hand our lives over to fear. But today I ask you, what is your duty? Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. What is the right thing you must do, even if fear stands in your way? For some, it may be to finally take a step toward a dream long buried. For others, it may be to protect the ones they love, even when the path is hard. And for all of us, it is to rise when fear says, sit down. Remember this, fear is a shadow. It looks large when you run away, but when you walk toward it, it begins to shrink. It has no weapon except the lies in your own mind. And when you act, simply act, it dissolves. So let Krishna's chariot carry you, let Marcus's pen guide you, and together they will whisper, do not flee from fear. Do not abandon your duty, for when you rise in courage, you rise beyond fear itself. And perhaps in that moment, you will discover not just what you must do, but who you truly are.